when I invited him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after the party, I literally got into a fight with him.
So,
Of
so.
course, I'm live right now. Of course, I'm
What's
live.
up? And Soulamazin Gaming, Streetkilln is off to a Boston Bean Eaters convention. So, good luck with that. How's it
Good
going,
luck,
guys?
Street. I hope that you don't get
Yeah.
mass diarrhea because you're already full of shit. Hey.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I brought up about Salt one time, and he wasn't even there.
So hopefully everybody's doing well tonight. Let's kick things off with Monday Night Raw. We had Roman Reigns kicking it off, making us feel nostalgic for the good old bad days of Raw. Oh wait, they're still here. So
why?
Oh, it felt like this time last year. Roman Reigns kicks off Raw. I mean it just
every day.
Like, wow, are we back to that already? So Roman kicks off Raw, and pretty much everyone on the SmackDown roster shows up all at once and makes it all chaotic, and Vince McMahon pawns it off as his idea, as this wild card thing. And while to me what this feels like is a Hail Mary. They're like, we've got to do something to make something different, to make it better. We've got to shake things up. What we're doing now is not working. It sucks. So let's try to mix things up with this wild card thing. And I also think this is also to make the people at Fox happy and the people at USA happy. So they're like, they have the potential to utilize the top stars from each brand on each show, which makes sense financially. Yeah. But I'm not so sure about this wild card rule. It just seems like a lot more confusion than is necessary. I think it's going to cause a lot of confusion. There's going to be a lot of missteps. It's got potential. They could do it right, but I don't have much faith in them at this point to do so. What do you guys think?
I think as far as the wild card rule goes, I don't think that it's a huge factor either way. I don't think it's a difference maker. Like you said, it could be. I think it could do more good than it could do harm. I think if they do it correctly and write it correctly, it could do a lot of good. But as far as harm goes, it's not really going to affect the show negatively any more than it already is, in my opinion. I think the problem is that the creativity and the writing and the storylines just isn't there. It's almost non-existent, and there's nothing.
Especially on Raw.
Yes, there's nothing to look forward to. There's nothing like that. You know, like I said before, you don't wait all week long for Monday night because you can't wait to see what happens with such and such. Or
I'll disagree to an extent with two things on that. And the two things that I would disagree, well, up until this week, because they kind of ruined one of them, but the Firefly Funhouse, I'm kind of excited to see every week. And Sami Zayn, I've been excited to see what he's had to say every week. But we'll get to that later.
Well, that's why I was going to get to that, is like I always say as well, there is those one or two things that you do look forward to. But it's very brief and things that aren't entirely very important. It's more like silly things that you look forward to, and they're brief things, you know, like the Firefly Funhouse. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's creepy and it's new, and it's fun to watch. But it's like 2 minutes long. You're watching a 3 hour show for a skit that takes 2 or 3 minutes, and
you got a point.
The rest of the show is like, you know, I literally, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because the past 2 or 3 Monday Night Raws, I've literally sat and watched and waited for that to come on. Like, I'll be playing a video game, and when I hear, I'm so glad that you're my friend, I turn it, I look, and I watch it, then I look right away again.
I did the exact same thing this week.
Literally.
There were like 3 times that I actually even looked at the screen, and I hate to admit that. You know, we're in a podcast about WWE and wrestling. I'm not even actively watching it. I'm mostly just listening and playing a video game. until
Yeah.
something interesting or good happens, and it's, you know, not for lack of wanting to. I would love to be fully enveloped in watching WWE, but they're just not giving me something that I can retain interest in for long periods of time. I'm pretty much just going through the motions now, so I'll be able to talk about it on Saturdays or Sundays.
Pretty much, and I say all of that to go back to the subject with the wild card, and to explain what I mean is that with the creativity and storytelling and writing being at the state that it's in, it's so bad that I don't think the wild card could do any more harm to that. That's not the problem. The wild card's not. It's not going to fix it, but it's not going to hurt it either. It really just doesn't matter at this point, because if the creativity and the writing isn't on point, then that doesn't matter. It's just, like you said, it's just a professional financial move that they made to make Fox happy and make USA stay happy, and that's all it is, really.
I think
It's
so.
not going to make the product any more entertaining.
I don't think,
in
yeah.
my opinion.
Ben, you got anything?
This whole segment. Okay. First of all, I actually do want to kind of actually, like, you know, bring this up. Because, also looking about also on Bleach Report. Can we also talk about the rematches? So, on Raw, we literally got two rematches.
No. Talk about the wild card. That's what we're on.
The wild card. Okay. The wild card. So, we're like literally gonna get probably like some superstars, you know, from SmackDown coming over to Raw, and it's gonna be the same thing. But I have to like agree with Soul here. I don't think that all this is. So all the wild card is for is just to make Fox happy, just to make like all these deals that the WWE have actually got at the moment, make them all happy about, like, you know, what's gonna happen on Raw and on SmackDown. It's like, I don't know anymore. Like, this whole thing about this wild card is just like,
No.
I have literally have just forgotten.
All right.
All
So-
this wild card just got me confused.
Yeah.
So many ways.
I can see that. So, Seth Rollins and AJ Styles were kind of going at it, you know, in a little promo battle thing, and Vince McMahon gets the extremely creative, never before seen idea of putting two people who don't like each other in a tag team match with each other. Never heard or seen of that before. I'm so glad I got to see this for the first time ever, because we never get to see two people that hate each other tag team against somebody. I mean, sheesh. The only good that came out of this was the trail of breadcrumbs hinting towards AJ Styles' heel turn, which I think would be for the best. I think the babyface thing is getting a little stale. I think going back to, you know, the kind of character he had with the whole beat up John Cena type deal, maybe bring the Bullet Club in, do that whole thing again, but do it right if they can. I doubt they can pull it off, but shitty booking. AJ Styles and Seth Rollins should be treated far better than the blandest, most basic storyline ever invented in wrestling. That's just my opinion. What are you thinking?
I agree. And not to skip ahead or anything, but I remember AJ Styles when he came out and interrupted the promo in the beginning. He said, you know, maybe I'll show up on SmackDown and bring some of my friends.
Yeah.
And then he didn't.
True.
I mean, he showed up on SmackDown, but he didn't bring no friends, so why was that even said? I was hoping maybe he was going to, like, show up with the Bullet Club and they're all going to attack somebody. Not the Bullet Club, I'm sorry. The Good Brothers, and they're all were going to attack somebody.
You
or
would
something.
think, you know.
Like,
it's-
cause some kind of chaos, you know, like, if these guys are going to come over here on my show, then I'm going to go take my buddies and go on their show, and we're going to do some damage. You know what I mean? That's what I was expecting, and then it didn't happen, so I'm like, why did he mislead us like that? I don't understand it.
Yeah. True.
I agree. What you got, Ben? On this match.
This
Or-
this match. not very happy about the outcome, but I will give like full credit to Baron Corbin, of course, actually, of course, getting the victory over Mr. Seth frickin' Rollins. But
one more step on his way to Universal Championship.
He is never going to become Universal Champion.
One more step.
And also that leak about. Okay, so yes, I'm also going to address this. The leak that apparently WWE also tweeted out, like I think it was like on Instagram.
WWE didn't tweet that.
I know it was like
you can't tweet
fake.
on Instagram.
It was already fake. Oh, sorry. They posted on Instagram a picture of Baron Corbin with the Universal title. First of all, that is fake because if it did actually happen, it would have appeared on WWE.com, but it didn't. So that was absolute fake. This match literally actually, it kind of felt that I don't know. This whole segment between about the whole Age of Styles, Seth Rollins, and as you said about the tag team match, that was definitely being creative about it. Does this not remind me of when Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley was just paired together? That kind of reminds me of that way. That freaking Baron Corbin decided just to put together. I'm like, oh my god, not this anymore. But yeah. But it was good, and I am actually fully hyped for this whole big match between AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. But I think AJ's gonna, of course, pick up the win and get the title back. Win the title from Seth Rollins.
Yep,
yeah, that's my thought on that.
Well, we knew your thought on that before you even said it, so it's all good.
Wow.
So
okay,
here's the part that I was alluding to earlier. Sami Zayn's momentum has come to a screeching halt as he was literally thrown in the dumpster. He went straight from one of the most compelling and entertaining characters.
On SmackDown. That happened on SmackDown.
No, that happened on Raw.
No, it happened on Raw. Sami Zayn literally got thrown in the trash.
Yeah, on SmackDown it was the triple threat match.
Thrown in the trash.
Oh yeah. Oh no, okay. No, I see. I know the dumpster thing happened on Raw, but I thought you were talking about the segment on SmackDown.
I mean that was maybe.
We're talking about Raw first, then SmackDown.
That was a much better deal. The SmackDown Sami Zayn was much better than the Raw.
I just thought that you had jumped to SmackDown.
No, not yet.
I'm sorry.
But he's just totally been that if he's in a segment with Braun Strowman, that there's no way he's coming out on top. And didn't we already see Braun Strowman chasing Sami Zayn all around forever and just... Didn't we already go through this?
Yep.
I distinctly recall Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman having a pretty long deal before now.
Oh.
So, this is shit to me because they had something, they had gold in their hands and they just threw it in the toilet or in the dumpster. They literally trashed Sami Zayn in one night. All the momentum he had built up is just, I mean, a little bit of a, getting some of it back on SmackDown, but if he's in a program with Braun Strowman, it's over. He's cannon fodder. He is a jobber to Braun Strowman now. When he came back with all this momentum and all this great promos, there's no way he's coming out on top of Braun Strowman. And I'm pissed.
And that's what it felt like to me, was that it felt like it was weeks of really good, really great promos from Sami Zayn to get the crowd to really hate him, and then all of that was just built up rage just for people to cheer for Braun Strowman when he came to the rescue.
What they should have had,
he just completely jobbed for Strowman for weeks.
They should have had someone else. They should have had a heel, like a no morals type heel, just come out and attack him, like in a be a worse heel than Sammy, but not in like the talking bad to the crowd. That way the fans would, you know, they know Sammy's a heel and they know that he's trying to get them to hate him, but at the same time they're cheering for him because they're already cheering for him. They're blowing the roof off of the building until he starts talking, and then they're booing the roof off the building, and that's the magic. They love to hate him, but not in the way that they want to see him lose. The heels that people want to see lose are, you know, guys like Baron Corbin and stuff like that. You know, generally the general fan wants to see Baron Corbin or Brock Lesnar or, you know, heels like that lose. That's what they want. Daniel Bryan. They want to see these people lose, but they want to see Sami Zayn win, and they have completely botched this opportunity to finally give Sami Zayn his moment in the spotlight. And I'm pissed, you know. Raw is just the fucking worst. Are they intentionally putting on bad shows to be like, look, Fox, you guys get the good one? I just don't know.
Yep. Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say people want to see Brock Lesnar lose?
Yes.
I'm saying the general average. I use Ben as my example. The marks.
Yeah, of course,
the marks want to see Brock Lesnar lose. Of course they do.
Wait.
Yeah, you're a mark, Ben.
Okay, don't. I just thought like the next match
So
was,
continuing
just
the
make sure I heard that correctly.
yeah. So continuing the trend of just what the fuck moments. Lucha House Party got a squash match.
Oh.
What in the wide world of...
When does three luchadors need a squash match?
They're supposed to be the jobbers. They are the squash.
They're the smallest people in the ring. Why are they squashing somebody?
They are the squash. They're supposed to be the jobbers. I don't want to see Lucha House Party get a push. I want to see Lucha House Party be quote-unquote gatekeepers. They're the guys that new people come in and beat. It's simple. They get a paycheck to come in and make other people look good, and they can put on exciting stuff with the flips and they can win every once in a while. But a squash match?
That's what I'm saying. I see what you mean, but like they don't turn them into like Kurt Hawkins for their whole careers. Like,
why not?
I mean, there is a fan base for them, a huge fan base for them.
I doubt it's huge.
Some kind of.
Yeah, but that's like, oh my god.
I doubt their fan base is huge. You know what I'm saying?
Probably.
It might be decent.
There's a fan base for it.
I'm sure there is. I mean, but there's a fan base for Baron Corbin, you know, by God.
Yo, I will say this, like, how embarrassing does it have to be for three random guys, well, just to like, well, put on their attires, and then and then get squashed by the Lucha House Party. Oh my god. And
then we move on to a horribly bland match between Bobby Roode and Ricochet. And worst program to put Ricochet in. You want to stall somebody out, put him in a program with Bobby Roode. Or Robert Roode, whatever the fuck he's calling himself.
Robert Roode now.
Yeah, pretty bad.
Ricochet's opportunity on the line, though? Why was his opportunity?
To make him look better. To make him look like he's willing to do these things. Just like John Cena issuing an open challenge. It's the same thing, to prove that he's brave and that he's got what it takes and that, you know, he's not scared to, you know, risk it to get the biscuit, you know what I mean?
To get him over with the fans as a favorite to win, just so he can lose.
They didn't need to do that, though. They didn't need to have him lose to him in the first place. They didn't need to put him in a program with Bobby Roode at all. They should have put him with Andrade or Mustafa Ali or... I don't care what I'm going to keep calling him Bobby Roode, just like I'm going to keep... I don't give a fuck fuck.
That's right.
Just like I don't care about the Viking experience. I'm going to keep calling the War Raiders. It's fucking stupid.
The Viking Raiders also. Oh my god.
So, yeah, that's, you know, beyond the point. Rude and Ricochet is a shit show. Get that out of here. You guys have anything to add to that?
Nope.
Oh,
Okay.
I agree.
No.
I haven't liked Rude since he joined the WWE in general. So, I think that it's not a good matchup for Ricochet in any kind of way. So that's just my personal opinion towards it. I could care less for Robert Bobby Roode, whatever.
Yeah.
Bobbery Rude. Bobbert
Now,
Rude.
If they would throw him in a tag team and try to make it something like Beer Money from TNA and make him like a decent heel, then maybe he could be okay. But don't give him a Scott Dawson mustache and change his name.
Oh god.
We still don't care.
Well, it's not a Scott Dawson. It's a Rick Rude mustache he's got right now. But oh god, I don't.
He's got the Burt Reynolds.
Scott Dawson mustache, that sounds more disrespectful, and that's why I was.
He's got the Burt Reynolds.
I just don't get it. He's just a knockoff of Rick Rude.
Yeah, it's dumb.
I just don't understand. Like, I don't think I've ever seen someone so blatantly copy another gimmick.
Yeah.
Like, and then they did it again with Chad Gable for the tag team. Like, why?
Yep.
I don't want to watch dudes in robes.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Sports entertainment. It is not an awkward porno.
I'm sure there's plenty of people that could. There's plenty of people that could pull it off. I'm sure, but not. It's just no. I'm done with it.
The only WWE superstar that could pull off wearing a robe is Val Venus. Other than that.
What about Ric Flair?
What about
Ric Flair too?
All right.
I was about to
what
say
about
the
Macho
Velveteen
Man?
Dream, no.
Yeah, Velveteen can pull it off, and he's a current star.
I was trying to go comical with it. Okay.
Yeah. There's lots of that. Macho Man wore them all the time.
It was supposed to be a joke. I know. It was supposed to be a joke.
I got you. You can't say that about robes, man. Robes are cool. No. So. Going along with what Knight had said in the chat here earlier, he doesn't get why the Iconics or even tag team champions if they keep losing.
Wow.
The Iconics.
Wow.
So the same thing. Shut up. So the same thing could be said.
Put some respect on your Iconics name, thank you.
The same thing could be said of Hawkins and Ryder. Hawkins and Ryder are continuing the trend of giving tag titles to people and immediately making them look like jobbers. Why this is
they haven't been losing every match. They just beat the Revival.
Well, they lost.
Because WWE is obviously punishing the Revival for whatever they've done, or rejecting their offer, or, just making waves or whatever. They're being punished, and it's clearly obvious that they're just. It's I've been very vocal about not being a fan of the Revival. However, I think this is bullshit. You shouldn't treat. No wonder they're talking the way that. I don't blame the Revival one bit. I think they should go to somewhere else. Or they should turn down an offer if they get a big one. Fuck WWE at this point. You're just making us look like idiots. You're devaluing their characters before they go off somewhere else, so that when they get there, they're like, "Oh, this guy needs his back shaved," and then they put Icy Hot in their Uzi Hot in their underwear. They're just jokes. They're not even. I don't understand this habit of giving tag titles or titles. Period. I can think of. Let's see. You got Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. You've got the Iconics. You've got It just happened. Who'd they give that damn belt to? They keep doing it. I had like 3 more examples when I was at work, but now I can't remember any of them. They just keep giving these titles to people, and then they gave them to the Revival, and then immediately started making them look bad. The B team. You know, you could go on for days if you could remember, you know, all the people that they gave them to, but it's hard to remember because they only had the titles for about a week at a time. It's stupid, and it's devaluing the championships and the roster.
I like that you brought up the B team because the B team thing could have went so much further and been so great if they would have had promos and rivalries with all the tag teams on the brand. It could have been
R-Truth.
Much more better.
They did it to R-Truth, you know.
But they ended it so short. Yeah, they did it R-Truth too. But they ended that when they do have something good, they kill it off so quickly. It's just like, why?
Yep.
You've got it right there in the palm of your hands. And you just drop it.
Like I said in the beginning of the podcast, when AJ Styles on Raw said, maybe I'll just go over to SmackDown and bring some of my friends. And then he shows up on SmackDown alone, or on SmackDown alone. And it's like they're like not even following up with their own promos. Like, the writing is so... It honestly feels like, when you're watching Raw and SmackDown, it honestly feels like they made everything up on the fly, like right at the last minute. They're like, go out there and just say something, like, and they like change their mind last second, and then they change their mind on Smack. It's just all over the place. Like, they're all just like nervous, like they don't know what to do, and it's really scary at this point because AEW show is coming up very soon.
Yeah, on
and you would think,
May
like,
25th.
from history, like, think about what, you know, a lot of people say the Attitude Era was the best era of the WWE, and think about why. Because they had the rivalry with WCW. So they were given an amazing product to compete for ratings. Like, why are they doing that now? Why is it so bad right now?
Maybe they're lowering expectations so that when AEW comes out, they just switch gears and they're like, "Ha, we fooled you," you know, or something. Maybe it's maybe it's intentional. They're just putting on these crap shows so that, you know, when people go watch AEW and they're like, "Oh, this is better," you know, WWE just flips a switch and it's like, "You want to see better?" You know, I don't know, but I doubt that's the case. They're spinning their wheels back there, and it's going nowhere.
Well, I feel like Vince McMahon is getting really old, and I feel like he's losing energy and focus
Focus.
I feel like
XFL. He's losing focus.
Yeah. And I feel like
XFL,
I feel like he needs to, I don't know,
Hand over the company to Triple H.
I mean,
Book Paul Heyman and creative.
And I don't want to say I'm not one of those people in any way, shape, or form blaming Vince McMahon for the shows being boring. I'm not.
I am.
Him.
He has complete control over that show. Everything that happens on Raw and SmackDown goes directly through Vince McMahon. Nothing does not
have a true understanding of what that really means. How much work really goes into that. It's a lot of work.
They need to put Triple H in charge of that, and they need to put Paul Heyman in charge of creative. That's the solution.
I literally stress out and find it hard to find time to book 7 matches for my WWE 2K19 universe.
I know, but you are one person.
Really?
They have a team of people who make more than you do. They make more in a month than you do in a year. Who are over here coming up with this garbage? These people make exorbitant salaries. Maybe the writers don't make that much, but I'm sure they make more than we do by far. It's a shame, and it's ridiculous that they would allow this to continue. The ratings show it. The Twitter,
That's what I'm saying.
social media.
I feel like it's the team's fault, in my opinion. I wouldn't put all the flack on Vince McMahon, is what I'm saying. But I feel like,
I don't know. I hear a lot of superstars saying that they have all these ideas and they bring them to Vince McMahon and they get shot down. And Vince McMahon's like, nope, you're changing your name to Robert Roode, you know, or nope, you're the Viking Experience War Machine Raiders, you know.
and that's a very good possibility, but
I'm not saying it's definitive.
100% believe everything that I hear. When I hear he said, she said stuff, I take it with a grain of salt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that 100% of the blame is on Vince McMahon.
Of course, anyone who is upset at a company, they're gonna blame their direct boss for everything, even if said person had nothing to do with it.
But a lot of the main bosses aren't very involved in the day-to-day. Vince McMahon is notoriously, this isn't he said, she said, it's not hearsay, it's fact. He's notoriously involved in the storylines and creative. I mean, this comes from multiple sources, so many that it can't be false. If this many people are saying that Vince McMahon has I'm not saying he can't assume 100% of the blame. And that's just because there are other people working on this. You know, the performers might not be performing up to the standard. A lot of people can take anything that you give them and turn it into gold. That's, you know, it's 100% of the blame is not on Vince McMahon. But I would go so far as to say at least 75. Yeah. Definitely, not a doubt in my mind, more than half of the blame is directly attributable to Vince McMahon. But I would go so far as to say 75%. If he would loosen his grip, just give Triple H the reins, and just let Paul Heyman be on creative for, you know, Raw or SmackDown. A lot of people know and acknowledge that the best 2 years that SmackDown ever had, I think it was 2001, 2002, was when Paul Heyman was the head of creative. It's proven. We all know that Paul Heyman is a genius when it comes to sports entertainment, wrestling.
And then
use the tools in your toolbox.
Oh yeah, no.
You've got a pair of pliers, but you're trying to use it as a screwdriver. You know.
Yep.
Or, you know, it's like they've got, you know, this really fancy tool that can do all these tasks, but they just use it for one basic thing. And like, yeah, he gives great promos, but you're basically using a Swiss Army knife for the bottle opener. And that's it. You bought a Swiss Army knife and all you're using is the bottle opener. What's the point? You've got so many tools in the toolbox and they're just sitting there being wasted.
It's just like the same thing I was saying about AJ Styles, the promo. They did the same thing with him when he attacked Vince McMahon, and we thought he was gonna go full-blown heel turn, and then
but
that went away too. Like, that disappeared. Like, it's like that's what I mean by they change their mind so much. Like, they act like they're gonna do something one week, and the next week it's a total different story, and it's just, you get excited for something, and then they just write it off, and it's like, it's just a complete mess. And I think it's, yeah, of course, a lot of it's Vince McMahon, but I think it's a team effort, and I think that everyone is slacking, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that, the way Vince McMahon talks and the look in his eyes, I just feel like it's time for him to take a step back. I think it's time to pass the torch. I mean, And I don't want to mean that in any kind of disrespectful way. I appreciate everything Vince McMahon has done. If it wasn't for him,
Oh, get off his nuts.
if it wasn't for him, this company wouldn't even be here. Like, you can't say, oh, the show's been boring for the past few months, so fuck Vince, he's terrible.
Few months?
Like, people.
I'm not saying fuck
A
Vince.
few-
I'm
People
just
bash
saying.
him and blame him for everything. Like, this company wouldn't even be standing on the ground if it wasn't for him. Like, come on, like, he's the owner. Like,
I'll say this.
It's not easy to please millions of people.
I
Like,
fairly
you have no
enjoyed
idea. Like,
his
we
time
can't
in
even
the
write a
ring.
7-show thing on a video game without somebody in our chat getting upset because they didn't get the match they wanted or the title opportunity they wanted. Imagine running hundreds to thousands of superstars at once and trying to please millions of people. It's impossible.
Sure.
It is,
Literally
yes, it's
for
impossible to
anyone
please.
named
David
to do such.
Here's where I disagree with you to an extent. It's impossible to please everyone, yes, but it is not impossible to please the majority, which is what they should be doing. You should be pleasing the majority because they're the
But
majority.
when the majority.
The majority
when you're
rules. The
talking
majority is
about-
the ones buying the tickets. The majority are the majority are the fans. The minority are the people who are just going to the WWE show because it's in town and it's something to do and they've never been, or somebody who's, you know, going with their boyfriend, or somebody who's, you know, just taking their kid. That's the minority. The majority are the fans, the people who want to watch this and who care about it and who are invested. Those people
No, I got you.
are
but
the
I
ones you
feel
want to
like-
make you want to make happy.
I feel
And there
like-
are clear paths to doing this, and every time they have it, they just fuck it up. They did it with R-Truth, they do it with all these tag teams, they do it with ridiculously counterproductive booking. Every week I'm just like, why did you do that? Why when everybody in the entire rest of the fandom, Twitter's going nuts? Why did you do this? Why are you booking this? Why are you wasting this talent? Why are you wasting this talent? Why are these people being pushed? Why are you shoving this down our throat? Why can't you just give us what we want? You told us at the beginning of the year you were going to do exactly that. You're going to give us what
But
we
see,
want.
that's where I disagree, because I feel like they did give everybody what they wanted.
They gave us
everybody
Kofi Kingston getting the title, and they gave us Brock Lesnar losing, and then right
every
after,
single result.
and then a week later, R-Truth loses his title. A week later, the Iconics look like garbage. You know, it's 1 week after WrestleMania. Almost every good thing, with the exception of Kofi Kingston, got undone or ruined. They did it just to get that. Yeah, they pleased us. Here's your. We're gonna give it to you. Here it is. Now we're done. That was it. We gave you what you wanted. Now we're gonna go back to our thing. You got what you wanted. You should be happy. Maybe we'll do it again at WrestleMania this year. What is it? Is that the goal?
The most important ones are still Becky Lynch is still double champion. Kofi Kingston's still champion.
Yeah, well, they're
Kurt
going to
and
do Mania.
Zach are still champion.
And now they're already losing to the
Seth
War.
Rollins is still champion. It doesn't matter. They're gonna lose matches. Like, that happens. You're not gonna just go on an undefeated streak just because you have the tag titles. Of course,
Give
they're
them
gonna
more
lose
than
to
a
the
month.
War Raiders.
Give them more than a month. Let them beat a few jobs. Let them beat Lucha House Party a few times. Let them beat Rude and some other tag team partner that they pair him with, because he's not going to do anything solo. Pair him any other tag team. You don't have to put them right up against the team that they're going to lose to less than 2 months after WrestleMania.
You never know, though. It could be leading up for them to win the next time when the tag titles are on the line.
I bet you $30 it doesn't happen. You want to bet money?
I said maybe. I'm not betting towards that. I said maybe that's the idea behind it.
That's not the idea behind. I would be fully behind that, and I would support that. 100%. As much as War Raiders, you know, War Vikings, Viking Raiders, War Experience, whatever, as much as they probably deserve a title because they are interesting to a lot of people. I'm not one of their fans, but I see where they can get a fan base and where they have one. I can see why they could be booked that way. But if they're going to be booked over Hawkins and Ryder, it should have waited. Hawkins and Ryder should have had a lengthier run. R-Truth should have a lengthier run. They shouldn't have buried the Iconics immediately after giving them the titles. Yeah, they gave us a little bit of half and half. Here's half of what you want, and the other half it's not this entire Raw. Rollins and AJ in a tag match.
But
that's not what we want.
Lose matches. It's not. I agree with you to an extent, but I feel like
I'm tired of 1 to 2 month title reigns. I'm tired of
none
them.
of these people that you're talking about have lost their titles yet.
Oh,
and
okay.
I feel like there's a difference between giving the fans what they want and spoiling the fans. Because
look, right now,
involved.
Right now, they need to spoil the fans. Right now, they have to spoil the fans. Right now, they should be giving us every little single thing that we want. They can take it all away from us later. That's one of the beautiful things of it. They can have everything going just our way, and then it would be much more interesting if we're all super excited about everything that's happened. Everything's going the way we want it, and then a train, you know, just a car crash of everything going wrong. You know, we're mad at it. It would create better heels. It's just all these common sense decisions are starting to stack up, and I don't know how much longer it's gonna be able to hold the weight. So the bottom's gonna fall out eventually unless they right the ship. They've got to fix this. I'm not saying it's probably never going to be the end of WWE. They'll keep putting on. I mean, they're making more money now than they ever have, and that's the reason why I think they don't care, because they're making more money now with the WWE Network, probably just that, than they ever did with pay-per-views and their TV deals and all of that. If you think of all the millions and millions of subscribers that pay $10 a month, and then they're going up, they're introducing a new tiered thing with like some stupid podcast or something. That's the only thing you're getting extra. And it's going to cost more. And people are going to just buy that. They're going to. And WWE is a cash machine. So who do they care? Why do they care? As long as they're still making more money than they've ever made before, it's going to continue to be a shit show. That's my opinion. That's the way I think it's going to stay. Because if you're still making a profit, nothing's wrong. It's business. They think it's good for business.
But it's actually not. So yeah.
Maybe it is. The money is saying that they're doing the right thing financially, even if it's not the best thing for their shows or the best thing for us. If you follow the money, they're doing exactly what they need to be doing. It's just not leading to a better product. My one true hope is that AEW creates strong enough competition to compel WWE to improve their product. Hopefully it eats into their profits. But at this point, I don't know that it can. I don't know that it's got enough marketing, because the only people who know or are even talking about AEW are wrestling fans. There's a lot of wrestling fans, but most of them, probably 90%, watch WWE. And probably at least half of those still don't know what AEW is. So it's going to be really, really hard to convert people from something they've been watching for years and years and years onto this new product. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's very possible. You create some really, really compelling must-see moments. You get some viral videos out there. You get Twitter blowing up and get it trending. Then, yeah, it's got a shot. But WWE is a money machine, and I think they can just pour all the money they want to on it and make AEW just kind of go away and fade into obscurity. I hope not. The one good thing, in my opinion, besides Firefly Funhouse that happened on Raw, was Kingston retained his title. I was like, I just knew it. I was like, they're going to fucking take it away already. They're going to have Rowan do something or something. But they're doing the smart thing here, and they're making Kofi Kingston look amazing. And I 100% condone and agree with that. So, thank you for the one good thing on the shit show that was Monday Night Raw. So, what'd you think about?
So you're telling me you don't find the situation of the revival entertaining at all?
I thought it was. I thought it was insulting.
Are you totally?
I didn't laugh at it one bit. I didn't laugh at the back shaving thing. I didn't snicker. I didn't smirk. I just kind of groaned and said, "It's toilet. It's not even toilet humor. It's just base, crass." It's to appeal to the marks. The only people that should be interested in that kind of comedy are the marks, who don't know any better. Because it was bad and disrespectful and so obviously blatant punishment towards the fact that they would... It shows exactly how vindictive and what kind of culture is brewing behind the scenes of WWE. No wonder everyone is pissed off when WWE keeps doing this to everybody. That the Revival, as much as I don't like them, are well respected by a lot of people. Not anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was funny at all.
Okay.
You thought it was funny?
Well, I'm an asshole, so of course I thought it was funny.
Wow.
But I agree with what you're saying.
It was elementary humor, just at the expense of.
But when I say I found it funny, I mean it was healthy for all parties involved way. Whenever you break it down the way you just did, of course I agree, and you're 100% correct. But looking at it from that common fan eye, you're not thinking about the fact that the Revival just turned down a contract and they're going to be leaving the company, and it's a vindictive move to punish them and embarrass them. When you said all that to the side, and you think maybe someone watching doesn't know all.
Yeah,
of that,
I couldn't separate myself during the moments when it was happening.
It's just a general skit type thing. You know what I mean?
I see where you're coming from.
That way, it's funny.
And
but when you have all that knowledge, and you know what you just said, then in that way, of course, you're right, and it is disrespectful.
I just couldn't
belittle them like that in front of millions of people as a way to punish them is disrespectful. But if you're just looking at it like it's just another skit on a show, then it's hilarious.
I don't think it's as funny. I think it's kind of a basic, like, it's a humor that you would see on Nickelodeon or on the Disney Channel. Yeah. Maybe it was to make the kids laugh. Maybe it wasn't for me. I can see that, and that's fine, because not everything on WWE is for me, and it's not supposed to be. There's supposed to be stuff for the girls and the kids and everything else. So I guess
that's why I also rant about everything being gray matter, and you can't say give the fans what they want, or blah blah blah, because there's something for everyone. Everything that they do, there's a fan base that backs it and likes it and wants it to happen. There's probably plenty of people out there that that wanted to see Daniel Bryan take the title from Kofi Kingston. It's just that the crowd chants so hard for Kofi, it's hard to sit here and say that and to believe that, but
That's what I'm saying. You don't please everybody. You please the majority.
There's plenty of people that wanted Kofi to drop the title back to Daniel Bryan.
It's just like democracy. The best product that you can get is when you basically take a vote. And a quick way to assess that is who's cheering more. And, you know, that may not always be most effective, you know, depending on location. Some places, you know, your heel might be from there, and they're going to cheer for him no matter what. Or some places might hate your face, and they're going to boo him no matter what. But beyond that, you can generally gauge through things like Twitter and social media and, you know, everything else. You can gauge who the majority is, and you can lean in that direction. I'm not saying go full blast, you know, just go all out 100%, but listen, you know, actively, there's so many, just in the last year alone, there have been so many missed opportunities. Just think how much we could be loving Braun Strowman right now. But how many times did they waste every bit of momentum that they had built up with Braun Strowman? At least 5 or 6 times just in last year alone did they have him look amazing, and then all of a sudden lose to Brock Lesnar, and then he looks amazing, and then he loses to Roman Reigns, and then he looks amazing, and he tag teams with a kid, and then he looks amazing, and then he just kept bouncing back and forth between just being, you know, the monster among men and actually being this close to being a really good, compelling character. He had started to develop decent mic skills. He had started to develop, you know, you could go any which way. You could have him be a face. You could have him be funny. He's hilarious if you let him. He could be all these different things, but they just keep,
and you know what,
up and down.
You know what
go ahead.
You know what I tell myself in these situations? I mean, you're 110 absolutely correct about Braun Strowman. They dropped the ball with him so many times, it's not even funny. Every time he works his way up, the crowd's going nuts for him, and he's got a title opportunity, boom, he's right back down, sinking to the bottom.
Wasted opportunities.
Either,
Finn Balor.
You know what I literally tell myself in these when those situations happen? I literally say, it was just to sell a t-shirt. That's it. Think about it. Think about when someone's real hot with the crowd. They push these new t-shirts out. I feel like a lot of the things that they do is just to sell a t-shirt. Because what came to mind before you started talking about Braun Strowman was Rusev. Look how hot Rusev Day was for the longest time.
And they ruined it.
How long did it take for him to finally win a title? How many times did he lose a title opportunity?
Oh my God, what is happening in the ring?
I feel like they just took advantage of that to sell a whole bunch of Rusev Day t-shirts. I see this now.
Oh my God.
It's amazing. It's the greatest thing ever.
It's a sign of what's going to happen at Money in the Bank. My Jack's going to return.
That girl's gonna get killed.
Anyways, let's get back.
Okay. Yeah. So let's go into SmackDown here. SmackDown was a much better show than Raw was, but that's usual. You started things off with Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, and Kofi Kingston in a triple threat match for the title. Right after Kingston had retained against AJ Styles, I was like, wow, this could be Sami Zayn's moment. I didn't really think that AJ Styles would win here, but I was like, this is either Sami Zayn's moment or Kofi Kingston is a fucking beast. And that's the correct booking. They could have went either way with it, and even though a lot of people probably would have been like, what the fuck, you took the title from Kofi, you're giving it to someone else who deserves it just as much in the same type of way. Just like Kofi had been pushed to the bottom for, you know, not to the bottom, he won titles after title, but they were tag titles. But, you know, he had all these chances, and then, you know, it's kind of the same thing with Sami Zayn, you know. So ridiculously talented and so deserving, and just every time he gets going, they just throw him away. He's just, you know, cannon fodder for Kevin Owens, or he's just somebody for Braun Strowman to beat up, or just somebody to get beat up, period. So, and they, you know, but that was a very, very good decision for me to say that Kofi Kingston is, you know, just going to continue to step up and prove himself, you know, or, you know, we're going to get that, you know, I felt really glad to see at least Sami Zayn get a title shot. But, yeah, and, you know, obviously skipping ahead to the end, you know, obviously Kofi Kingston won. But
well, it's good because it put Raw, like you said, literally threw him in the dumpster, and then SmackDown turned around and put him in the main event picture. So it shows that they're not just sparing him, and
maybe.
He remains
well, no, we know that
picture.
they are just burying him, because beyond that one match on SmackDown, you know, the rest of the program is going to be Braun Strowman and him running away from Braun Strowman, I think. But who knows? So RKO shows up and destroys Andrade and Mustafa Ali. I thought this was pretty interesting. I'm not mad at it. I think it was kind of Andrade. You know, I was like, Andrade and Ali, this could be a really good match, and it started off being a pretty good match. But, you know, the appearance of RKO just kind of sealed the deal there. It is like, oh, okay, this could get really interesting.
Now that time has went by, and I feel like Ali and Andrade one-on-one is a good matchup. It's a good pairing. And I felt myself really enjoying this, and I felt myself becoming a fan of Ali finally on this episode. Beforehand, I mean, the reason that I really didn't like him is because I felt like, you know, the WWE has its faults with not pushing the right people at the right time, of course. And so many times I've seen people that I particularly enjoy that don't ever get a push or a chance. And then
you keep seeing somebody who you don't like,
out of nowhere. It's just the fact that they threw him in there and had him matches against AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, etc. Like, for his first few matches, and I'm just like, who is this guy? He came from 205 Live. Like, why? It's just, it was too sudden and too soon for me, for them to just almost like blatantly favor this guy, and it made me like turn away from him because of that. Now, if they would have had him come out against Andrade first, type thing, and compete with people that are around your level in the beginning, you know what I mean? One of you gets the upper hand on each other, now you get an opportunity to face someone who's better. You know, work him into it. I just didn't like how they threw him in there to the main event guys so quickly, but...
It should have been him versus Andrade to start everything off. They should have been in a program.
Yeah.
It would be the opening of Raw or SmackDown or whatever show they were on at the time. That's how they would start every show. Or, you know, that'd be like the first match, you know. Andrade versus Ali. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah, and I've always said that I like Ali as a wrestler. I think he's exciting. I've always liked his cruiserweight matches that he's had, you know, on the openings for pay-per-views. And I really, it took until this week for me to think this, but I really can see a pretty bright future for him, because I feel like he's probably really over with the youth for some reason. I just get this vibe that like kids love this guy, especially the face mask and the gear that he comes out in with the lights. Like, you know, kids are eating that shit up. Like, they think he's he thinks he's like a superhero, like the real little kids.
Probably.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think in that way, and the exciting flips and stuff he does in the ring, and kids are eating that shit up, dude. Like I feel like, with that being said, he has a pretty good future in the company for that reason.
Okay. So.
And I like Andrade too. Andrade's listening. Andrade's listening right now. Like really, dude. Like you're just gonna rant about this guy? Like I'm nobody. No, I like Andrade too.
Wait, what was Andrade's first feud?
He's a good wrestler.
Like on SmackDown, I think it may have been. Oh, who was it now? I'm trying to remember. I'm gonna say Rey Mysterio.
It wasn't, but
Really?
whatever.
Mysterio wasn't in the company when Andrade came.
Yeah, I know, but like I'm just trying to remember when Andrade.
He fought John Cena
Like-
first, I think.
No, he fought.
No, I think he fought John
Who the
Cena
hell
first.
Was it?
Or Rusev.
Why am I still thinking?
It doesn't.
that
It doesn't
he's
matter.
face?
Let's not get hung up on that. So,
Yeah, let's not. We don't know off the top of our heads.
Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan were just given the tag titles, pretty much, and then, you know, you have to defend them against the Usos, and then they.
One of the best damn tag teams, and they lose.
Well, I'm
they
not
weren't
mad.
actually given them. They had to compete for them.
Well, they started off being given them, and then they had to defend them.
No, they went.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Them. They
It was a
earned them.
yeah, that's right. It was a title match. That's
It
right.
was a tag team title match. But still, in retrospect, in our eyes, they were given them. But in kayfabe terms, on the show, they had to compete for them.
So
You know.
I'm not mad at it. I guess I can see it. It makes sense. And should give somebody different. It'll make things different than just Usos versus New Day or Usos versus The Bar or Uso. You know.
Well, I feel like Daniel Bryan's the type of guy that was 110% for Kofi Kingston taking the title from him at WrestleMania. I feel like he wanted to make that sacrifice. I feel like he
Probably.
wanted to see Kofi win. And this is compensation tag team win. I believe he's never won that tag team title before.
Wait,
So
what do you mean? He has won the tag titles before.
has he?
Yeah.
Hell yes.
I
Team Hell
think
yes.
he's- Yep, Team Hell.
Team Hell Yeah won
Team
him?
Hell Yeah. Yep, Team
I
Hell
didn't know that. I
No.
wouldn't.
Oh, hell no, yeah, that's right. Team Hell no.
I wasn't watching.
I wasn't either, but I just knew that.
Who else?
I didn't know that they won. I guess that should be obvious.
Everyone knows that soul.
Yeah.
So I try to act like that never existed. That's probably the worst one. I'd rather see Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, and Rhodes than to see Team Hell No. I'm sorry. I was completely turned off by that. I was completely opposed to that whole thing. It was god awful to me. Sorry. Sorry.
It's all good. So, NXT, the only real thing that happened of note would be Matt Riddle beat Adam Cole.
Yep.
Really, I haven't watched NXT in like 2 months.
Yeah, I will say this. I did watch it. I think it was like a couple nights ago. I did watch it. Matt Riddle versus Adam Cole. Can we please get that on the main roster? Literally, that is a good freaking match to watch.
It was a good match.
Like, they went back and forth at it, and it was so good.
For Matt Riddle to
And
get the
then-
win
and then
here
plus-
was really big for me. I think Matt Riddle
Yeah.
probably
Was it a
get a title shot soon.
title?
I know.
It was a submission victory. It was a submission victory.
That answered the question, Ben.
Yeah, sorry. But does this now kind of now point that Roderick Strong may be out of the Undisputed Era? Potentially?
Wait a
Because-
minute. I feel like at this point, I'm so far behind on NXT. I'm not gonna be able to go back and catch up. So just run me through all the important things that have happened. Title changes, heel turns, tag teams breaking up. Anything big that debuts, anything big I might need to know.
Kushida, he also debuted on
He
NXT.
did debut already?
Yep, he already debuted, and he defeated. I'm gonna say Cassius, but then I'm still trying to think when he actually had that big fight against Drew Gulak. He faced Cassius and actually won. Fair and square. Just trying to remember what also happened.
Of course you won.
Of course.
Nobody loses to Ono.
Yep.
So, moving into what news we have for the week. I have an interesting one.
Well, we can't.
Well, this is a fan on Twitter posted. A little backstory. Earlier this week, WWE announced that on Monday Night Raw, one of the matches would be Baron Corbin versus Ricochet. Apparently, a fan didn't really care about this, and they tweeted, "So as a fan, we are supposed to get excited. No build and no story. Okay, they're both in Money in the Bank, but what's the heat to have the match? Did Corbin attack Ricochet after his match last week? Did Ricochet rain on Corbin's parade after winning his match? Just promoting a cold match." So, to this, Baron Corbin himself personally replied, "As a fan, you cry if people wrestle each other more than once. You cry if the story doesn't fit what you want. You cry if it's just a match. I think you would cry if you picked the matches. Twitter turds are never happy." And that kind of goes with what you were saying earlier. So that's almost exactly what you were saying, is that you can't, they cry no matter what you do. They're gonna get mad. They're gonna get mad at almost every decision that you make.
Please millions of people.
And that's also true. That once you start making some of these decisions that they want, they're immediately gonna turn on your decision. But I think mostly because they won't handle it right. They'll make the right move, but then they put out a bland after product. You know, they give you what you want, and then they don't come up with anything creative to keep it going. They run out of.
I find it difficult to please one person.
Right. So, an interesting exchange from Baron Corbin. I thought that was pretty dope.
And he's right, and I'm glad that they're giving him the freedom to talk back to these fans like this on social media. I'm glad they're not like, you can't talk to people like that, but I'm glad that he's doing that. It's good.
Hang on.
People need to be that straight sometimes. So it's a good thing.
Oh, also, former WCW Lucha Libre legend Silver King dies at age 51. Let's mention about that one.
At what age?
Hang on, I'll send you this.
71?
No, it's like, so Silver King, he is a former WCW Lucha Libre legend. I don't know what actually happened to him, but he collapsed and 51. He's 51 years old. Yeah.
That's pretty young. I thought you had said 71.
Well, as John Oliver pointed out on his show, today, last week, or before WrestleMania, a lot of wrestlers die before they're, very old. And that's kind of the norm, and WWE's kind of been blatantly ignoring that. Ric Flair's the exception to the rule, You got Roddy Piper, you got Macho Man, you got, all these, people who died well before their time. Brian Pillman, Chris Benoit, which was in its own set of circumstances, probably had something to do with wrestling and the whole concussive trauma, CTE or whatever. Concussive trauma encephalopathy, I guess. I just made up that last word. What else? Dean Ambrose in a movie, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there new news on that?
No, not yet.
I'm trying to see what the name of it is.
How about the thing you got in the title here? Good podcast.
Which one?
What is
that AEW TNT deal?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
AEW signed their deal with TNT, which was in an interesting little bit of irony. It was the network that WCW aired on.
Yep.
So big major network. They're gonna want to run it.
TNT's like, oh great, here we go again.
TNT, it's dynamite.
It's gonna blow up in our faces again.
The interesting thing here is that they're gonna have a weekly show. What's gonna tell whether or not this succeeds, in my opinion, it's rolling out this fall. They're supposed to announce it this Wednesday at their thing at Madison Square Gardens. After that, if I don't see an advertisement for AEW, if I don't see marketing and promotion and an active attempt to put themselves out there in the public eye, then AEW is not going to succeed unless they start to do, they slowly build towards it or something. The main thing they're going to have to do is market. They're going to have to promote the hell out of this thing. They have TV viewers don't just tune into something just because it's there. They've got to know it's there. They've got to want to watch it. They've got to have a reason to watch it. They're going to have to market this thing heavily and maybe even, throw some shade at WWE at the same time, like tired of the same old, boring, sports entertainment. Why don't you go watch some wrestling?
To turn off Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh my god, hang on.
And
so
what?
Several matches announced for and SmackDown stars will of course be appearing on WWE Raw this Monday night. So some of the matches that have actually been announced. First of all, we actually are going to be in a fatal 4-way between Naomi, Natalya, Alexa Bliss, and Dana Brooke. Okay, that's going to be an interesting match. Okay. Yeah, Minecraft match. Oh, come on, what the okay. Ricochet's going to be taking on Baron Corbin, and Drew McIntyre's going to be taking on Braun Strowman. And also, Roman Reigns will, of course, also be a guest host on Miz TV. And Charlotte and Becky Lynch will also be
Miz and Roman Reigns are gonna join up together.
Yeah, they're gonna do like a Miz TV. Yep.
Maybe Miz will be the next member of the Shield.
Probably. Charlotte Flair will appear on Monday night as a part of a double contract signing segment that includes Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans. Okay, that is God.
Apparently Kurt Angle is learning to become a producer for the show.
Okay. That's interesting. We'll see.
A possible name for the show in Saudi Arabia is WWE Sands of Time. This is Prince of Persia? Is this a PS1 classic?
Like sands to the hourglass. What? These are the days of our lives.
These are the sands of time. As we present to you our Universal Champion, Seth Rollins, as he attempts to burn it down live in Saudi Arabia. So, whatever happened to the one guy who was from remember they had the cruiserweights come out that first Saudi Arabia show? The guy was making controversial statements to what was it? I know you guys know what I'm talking about. And we were making jokes about he was gonna get killed and stuff, and whatever happened to that guy?
He got killed.
Yeah,
he just disappeared.
Yeah, he just got murdered.
I don't know.
Well,
Oh,
it's been rumored that Alexa Bliss and Buddy Murphy ended their engagement.
Yep, I already heard about that.
now's your chance, Ben.
That happened a long time ago.
Buddy Murphy's waiting for you.
I'm not gonna fucking say anything.
Now's your
Yeah,
chance,
there's
you
a
and
lot
Buddy
of,
Murphy. It could be a thing.
What the? Oh my god! What are you even saying, sheep? What do you mean by that?
That you want some butthole Murphy.
Oh my fucking god! No!
I thought
What?
you were referring to Alexa Bliss.
In L.
Yeah, see how I flipped it?
Okay.
Here's a discussion that I kind of want to have. Does anybody still think, and I do, does anybody else still think that Dean Ambrose is, John Moxley is a WWE character? Or do you guys really think he's gone? I think it's a work. I think he's...
Can you rephrase the question?
Do you think John Moxley is going to be in the WWE? Or if he's going somewhere else?
Yeah, I think he's gonna go somewhere else.
I don't
think he's gonna go somewhere else, but I think that if they're gonna introduce... If you introduce John Moxley to the WWE, I mean, it's gotta be like a whole new era of WWE, or it's just gonna go straight down the drain.
Why?
Have you seen the stuff that he...
It's working for Bray Wyatt.
Moxley's character did?
They're gonna tame it up. Oh yeah, they're not gonna...
About in-ring content, like...
I understand that. The blood and all that.
Yeah.
Sure, that's not gonna happen.
You can't take something that hardcore and PG it. PG-13 it. Like,
They're gonna try.
It just doesn't work.
They're gonna try.
Yep.
I think it's WWE work.
They actually do that, yeah.
Here's why.
I think so, too.
My main reason. Now, I think I said this last week. My main reason, third time I said that, is the production value on that video. CZW's not putting out, not making enough money to put out. That's $1 million video. The cameras alone that it took to film that cost more than I will make in the next 10 years. There is no way an indie promotion filmed that video. Maybe on a long shot, Dean Ambrose threw up his own money for it. But I highly doubt that. The only company that might try to throw something out like that would be maybe AEW. But I don't think they've got that kind of production yet. I think their production values are still going to be something left to be desired when their product airs.
Yeah, and they're focusing on their first show. They're not throwing all their time and efforts and money into
one
John
character.
Moxley.
Yeah, they're not investing.
They're worried about their own guys right now.
They've got Kenny Omega and the Young
themselves.
Bucks. They're not putting $1 million video packages together for them.
Hang on.
Exactly.
Oh, what is...
So that's my main reason. The other one is they were way too considerate. Like,
with his departure.
Yeah,
he got multiple. His last match on SmackDown, his last match on Raw, his last match here. This is the last time you're ever gonna see him. So last Shield reunion match.
WWE's said it all. He's leaving. They put out tweets and all this. Dean Ambrose will no longer be with us. Blah blah blah. They never said John Moxley wouldn't. They said it was Dean Ambrose's last match. They didn't say it wouldn't be John Moxley's first.
They actually stressed Dean Ambrose.
Over and over, they said.
Exaggerated his name.
Another reason, Renee and Dean aren't going to be on competing companies. It's just a conflict of interest. They're not going to keep Renee Young on staff if Dean Ambrose is working for the competitor. That's inside information. They've got a spy right there in the highest level, sitting right next to Michael Cole, the head of the announce team, who knows things before anybody else does. No, they're not going to have Renee Young sitting there with whispering to Dean Ambrose, letting people know the results of matches before they happen, and then it's all over the internet before things happen. AEW is actively sabotaging WWE.
Oh my God.
No, this is a work. I am 90% sure that Jon Moxley will be wrestling in the WWE probably by this fall, when they do the whole Fox, when Fox starts airing, and when AEW starts airing in the fall on TNT.
You think he's one of the hidden gems of this whole? Maybe they're just bottling stuff up for when AEW does put out their show.
I think
deals is a hidden gem.
I think the week before that first AEW show, I think WWE is gonna pull all kinds of shit out the works. Jon Moxley, anybody that's due for a comeback, they're gonna pull out all. They're gonna try to make this like a Saudi Arabia show. They're gonna bring back every big thing that they can think of, and pull all the tricks out of their hat, and they're gonna say, you're gonna want to watch next week, because that's when AEW is gonna be on, and we want you watching us, not them. Or we want to be so big and so over the top that when you watch AEW, you're not going to be impressed because we just did all of this.
So do you feel... I could see that. And it makes perfect sense. But on another subject, do you feel 100% opposed to the idea that there's any chance of a return of CM Punk in the WWE?
I'm not opposed to it happening, but I don't think that it...
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
not whether you would like it to happen or not.
I don't not like CM Punk. He wasn't in my era. He's like, I don't think I watched one CM Punk match. And I know. I'm not.
It's not nothing to do with your feelings towards him. I'm just saying, how do you feel about the possibility of him returning?
It would be huge.
Nothing to do with whether you like him or not.
It would be huge for the company,
like the
and
likeliness of it. Like, do you think that
likeliness?
with
10%.
Things like we were talking about earlier about like his.
I think there's a 10% chance.
At NXT.
That was 100% coincidence.
You think that has nothing to do with it?
Nothing to do with it at all. Nothing. Look.
What about?
Here's what I did a little research, and here's what I learned. A lot of these stadiums and venues have this built-in. It's like the same systems that restaurants use. It's just this almost a radio, but with no commercials whatsoever, and they just play. Stadiums and stuff do it all the time for sporting events. They play Black Betty and all these songs that are just basically on repeat. Cult of Personality is a song from 1988. And it is in sporting events and stuff all over the world. I can't say for a fact that this was the case, but it's the most logical conclusion because it's a conflict of interest. Now, unless they are planning on bringing him back, which there have been some whispers and stuff a few weeks ago that, saying that WWE was starting to become open to the idea of CM Punk coming back, and these were rumors, so, you believe what you want.
Yeah, and you're completely right on those statements. But for the conversation you and Street were having in Discord, I want to say what I think Street was trying to get at is that. Well, let me not even say it like that. I'm not putting words.
He wasn't trying to make. Street was trying to troll. He wasn't trying to make a point. He was just trying. He was just. Yeah, I love CM Punk. It was CM Punk. That's all it could have been. It's CM Punk, boy.
Well, when he was. No, I know. Well, when he was saying like the WWE knows what they're doing, they know. Regarding to that, but. Let me just... I already changed my mind on how I'm going to address it. Let me just say how I feel about it. I feel like if you have this strong sense of resentment towards CM Punk. You know, you had the drama that happened and all the situations and yada 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 that happened between the company and CM Punk.
Who has resentment? Me?
No,
Oh,
not you.
okay.
The company.
Oh yeah, the company. You're speaking for the. Okay, I got you.
I feel like you would make all the efforts to pull that song from anything related to the WWE. Because anytime you hear that song, you're going to think CM Punk. As a wrestling fan, when you hear that song, you think CM Punk. I would feel like with the money and power that WWE has, they would make sure at their NXT live event that song's pulled from the mix.
If it's something, I'm just saying it may have been something that they couldn't control. Like it's a satellite radio type thing.
Yeah, and it is very possible. That is very possible. That's why I say, well, everything that you said is correct. But I feel on the contrary.
Yeah.
That,
Devil's
like,
advocate, I got
very
you.
Possible as well. There's really no way for us to know.
There's a specific circumstance where WWE is. I know for a fact they wouldn't do that to Troll, because that would be not in their best interest. It was either an automated thing, a mistake, or it was a prelude, a hint, them dropping a little secret Easter egg, maybe get people excited, get people talking about it. I think that's about a 10% chance.
Yeah.
I think it's about a 90% chance that it was a entertainment thing just to keep people going when, you know, nothing's happening, just blaring over the PA and Cult of Person. I bet that when it played, nobody even said, "Oh God, we gotta, what's happening?" You know, they were just like, they didn't even notice because it's such a common song in those types of, I mean, I imagine it's not the first time that's happened. That song has played during a live event or a house show or something like that. It's just nobody really noticed because it's such a part of that culture of arenas and stadiums and stuff like that nobody was like, "Oh, that's CM Punk's music. Let me tweet about it." I imagine it's happening.
Somebody did.
Well, yeah, because now people live to find something to tweet about.
Might as so.
So, yeah. See what other news. I don't really have anything. Ben's always got some fringe stuff. What you got, Ben?
So I was like just like looking on Twitter, and then I saw this tweet about from Ryback that he got a document from the WWE trying to threaten him to hand over all of his social media accounts that he has created, and there is like an actual image of the document. I sent it to you guys in Discord also.
Oh yeah, sad news to probably some people who have the WWE Network. A lot of formats are no longer going to be supported. So anybody watching pay-per-views on their PlayStation 3, time to get that PS4, buddy.
Yep.
There's a lot of people are freaking out about this.
Another PS4.
A lot of people are freaking out about this, but like, if you're that far behind, there's still options for you. At the most, you'll have to spend $35, like, to get a Roku. Best case scenario, you can cast it to your device with your phone. You can watch it on your phone. You can't watch it on Windows 10 anymore, so that was interesting. That's the most recent Windows.
Yeah, I have Google Chromecast. It's $35.
Yeah, a Roku's $35, you know. Chromecast, $35. Easy. And it works, you know, just like, or you buy one of the like $35 smart Blu-ray players that's, you know, current. And I guess not Sony or Samsung. So it's not the end of the world.
Like
a lot of people are making a
$200.
way bigger deal out of this than it needs to be. There's also a rumor that Nikki Cross is going to undergo a significant character change.
Really?
To which I would say, why? She's
I
awesome.
don't know.
I don't want, unless she's joining the Firefly.
Moxley should come out. Nikki Cross should be like his girlfriend.
If she's joining the Firefly Funhouse, then sure. But I don't really want a character change for Nikki Cross. She's awesome. They just haven't used her.
Imagine John Moxley and Nikki Cross being a couple, and then it leads into a rivalry between Nikki Cross and Renee Young. And Renee Young somehow is like the most entertaining, greatest in-ring performer of all time, and she saves the company with her bare hands.
You know how I want to see get in the ring? Sam Roberts.
Yes. Yes.
Put Sam Roberts in that ring, man. That'd be
Would
gold.
be a good matchup.
Sami Zayn.
Oh my god. I need to check this. I think he has been in the match before.
It's a joke, Ben. Even if he has, I'm just playing. So, I don't really have anything else. If anybody's got anything to add before we go, I think that's the end of her.
Hang on. I'll look at this.
Oh.
There is nothing
Two
anywhere
things.
else on this report. Yes.
Two quick things. One, I'd like to know how Ben somehow manages to have something to say about Ryback every single podcast consecutively.
Yo, I have not talked about Ryback.
Is he like the only
every
person you
podcast.
follow on Twitter? Here lately, you've had something to say about Ryback every podcast.
When? How?
Like 3 or 4 weeks in a row at least.
I have
Exactly
not
how?
talked
That's
about
what I'm
Ryback.
asking.
I have not talked about Ryback. Yo, I only just brought him up just now. I only just brought him up just now. No, I did not. Okay, now you're starting to troll me. I know that.
I'm not trolling you. I promise. I recall you bringing
hang
up
on.
about Ryback a couple times.
Daniel
in a row.
Bryan. Hang on, Daniel Bryan wants tag teams to headline WrestleMania.
No. We don't have 2 tag teams good enough for that. Sorry.
Yo, we have a lot of good tag teams. I'm just saying, we have a lot
Not
of
the
good
headliners.
If he's trying to go ahead and get his bid in for main event in WrestleMania next year, no. Even if they did, it wouldn't be Daniel Bryan and Rowan. I don't care how good they are.
It would probably be like the Usos. It would probably be like people like that are like good as a
That's
tag.
exactly what came to my mind. The Usos and who? There's no one.
Well, the only team that
the
you could,
Usos,
the only
the
team
Revival?
that no, they're no. Shut up.
The
The only team that you could possibly have that it would would be the New Day. That's the only WrestleMania worthy people that you could have doing that, and it would be.
What about the Usos? What about the Usos? You literally just said
Usos and New Day.
That's what I.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, second, where the hell is Dolph Ziggler? I ask this every podcast, and no one can ever give me an answer.
Dolph
Where is
Ziggler, I think he left the company. I could be wrong.
No.
That's a huge assumption, Ben.
I do not know because I haven't not even actually seen Dolph Ziggler in a while. So I'm gonna check the see if he's up still.
See, the last thing. No,
Why am I about to go
I just
check
wanna
Wikipedia for this? Why am I checking Wikipedia for Dolph
He
Ziggler?
just disappeared. It was bothering me.
Let's see. 3 weeks ago is the most recent update. Hasn't been seen or heard from since the Royal Rumble. It's been reported that his contract had expired months ago and that he was competing for WWE on a handshake agreement alone. Few superstars never got blah blah blah. Spoke to Chris Van Vliet on a video on his YouTube channel and revealed he wasn't done with the company but instead was on vacation. He also claimed his surprise appearance at the Royal Rumble was a last-minute thing due to him being in the area and wasn't a way for WWE to continue the storyline. So,
That's old.
3 weeks. That's the most recent update I can give you.
He's on vacation for like 6 months.
I don't know. Let the man take a vacation however long he wants to. Oh, it looks like here's what he said about that Royal Rumble appearance. He said, I think it was more just I was in town and I'm one of their guys and it happened to work out. So I got a double booking, double payday. Oh, okay, WWE and the comedy show. Yeah, he's probably trying to work on his stand-up comedy and all that kind of things. You know, he's taking some time.
Yeah.
Street said Dolph's dead.
No,
I'm just saying they didn't give him any kind of send away or anything. He just disappeared, and it bothers me when they do that.
Oh, we also just had an NXT in
Like, at least
Florida.
make something up.
So Street shows up for the last 30 seconds of the
The guy
podcast.
had to
Great
blow
going,
himself
Street.
up in a limousine like Vince did.
Way to support Dat Wrasslin podcast, Streetkilln HD.
Yeah, Street. Yeah, always. Yeah.
So, GG guys. Thanks for tuning in if you're still with us, but I see 4 viewers, so it's probably us 4. It's all good though. I appreciate it.
Hey, nobody can support you, don't support yourself.
Catch us next week.
Wow.
Same time. Hopefully we've got a better week of Raw to talk about. 'Cause that shit's garbage.
Hopefully.
Alright. Peace out. That didn't...